Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Neel Parekh.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Neel.
Hey guys, excited to be here.
Oh yeah. Well, let's get this show started. What exactly do you do?
Sure. My name is Neel Parekh. I am CEO of a company called Made This Franchise. It is a cleaning service based over in California, which focuses a lot on Airbnb, short-term rentals, things like that. And now we're franchising across the nation.
Hey, that's awesome. So tell us more about that. Like, how does that tell us about what you guys do? Like you said, you clean. Give us some more of the details.
Yeah. I'll give you some background. So it's I guess you call it kind of a newer age cleaning company. Like everything is very digital, online booking. Everything is remote, so everything's done remotely. Just a really, really good user experience, right? I think the cleaning industry, and as you guys know, a lot of like old school service industries, this is very old school, right? They're coming at it a different way. You have to do in-person estimates, things like that. So we're coming at it with a much more new age kind of millennial way. And I've been doing this for quite a while. And a lot of our focus is in residential cleaning, meaning the cleaners will go from their homes to just, Brad, your place and say, hey, you need a monthly cleaning or weekly cleaning or bi-weekly cleaning, they could do it. And the other half of the business is Airbnbs. So as you guys know, Airbnbs and vacation rentals boomed. And with that, they need a cleaner in between guests. It's like a hotel cleaning.
Yeah.
So we're actually the first franchise specializing in vacation rental cleaning that exists. It's just such a new market. And we dove into it and specialized in that and just scaling that part of it. So it's been fun ride. I've been doing it since 2013.
Wow, that's awesome. So when you were younger, did you have planned for your future? What'd you have planned?
Yeah, I grew up. I was like, I want to start a cleaning company. That's exactly.
That's exactly. You're like 4 years old. You're like, how do I clean for a living?
That's sick. It's gonna be great.
So how'd you get to where you're at?
Yeah, so my parents had video rental stores. You guys remember like the old Blockbusters?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So theirs was called Video Town. They had a couple of them. So I grew up around small business in general. So I guess in the back of my mind, I kind of knew I'd get into business in some capacity. I had no idea what that would be. So then after college, I went to work at like a venture capital company in finance. And from there, I just honestly, I wanted to quit and travel. So I was like, I got to start some sort of side hustle.
Yeah.
And that's where I came across a post on Reddit, saw about this cleaning company, started it, booked a one-way flight to Colombia, and then started building the cleaning company. But yeah, the origins would just be kind of, I wanted a side hustle. I had small business kind of in my blood, I guess, from growing up around video rental stores. That was basically it. But no, I think I wanted to be like an astronaut growing up, something like that.
I like it. So how did you get your first, tell us about like the first, the first like year. Like how did you get it all figured out? Like when did you determine you're like, I want to do it for Airbnbs as well? Like how did you figure that part out?
Yeah, like I'm sure it's the same for you, Brad, but when you start your business, you have no idea what you're doing at all. Right. So I was working in my corporate job, and you had to get a call from someone who's like, hey, I need a cleaning. So I'd like run outside, take the call the cleaner, try to like coordinate in the middle, complete like no clue what I was doing at all. And it was funny because actually I would not sure, I didn't know how to pay cleaners. So the cleaners would show up outside of my work in their car. I go to the ATM, grab cash and like give it to them. And I just still remember like my coworkers like, what do? You just handing people cash out of a car? Like you're just a drug dealer. So the first year was very much of figuring out how business works. This was my true first business endeavor, like figuring out how to payment system, figuring out how to do digital marketing, figuring out how to make a website. So there's a lot of just trial and error for the first year, a lot of fumbling. And I got kind of lucky. Honestly, it was 2013, 2014 when vacation rentals really started to boom.
Yeah.
So that's when people started to call and say, hey, do you guys do vacation rental cleaning? And I looked into it and I was like, oh, wow, this is actually a really huge opportunity. Mm-hmm. Of course, at the time, same for you, Red, I'm sure you don't know how to price it. So I was priced at like a quarter of what I'm charging right now, just completely making nothing at the time. But, at least I got started and was able to build more of a niche around that really booming industry at the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you structure, like if someone has an Airbnb, because we have a lot of listeners that probably have Airbnbs or some kind of short-term rentals or long-term rentals, whatever. How does it work? Like how do I, as somebody has an Airbnb, contact you guys and get it scheduled? Like, you said it was super easy. But how's the process work?
Yeah, so we have a software system where we could actually grab your calendar from Airbnb. So you just give us one link, It syncs with your calendar. Anytime there's a guest checkout, it'll automatically schedule cleaning with us.
Yep.
Automatically assign the primary and backup cleaners for your property. Cleaners go. There's a checklist you could upload. The cleaners will take pictures. It gets sent to you. Your card gets charged afterwards, and it's done. That's basically it.
Hey, that's awesome.
I make it sound super easy. There's a lot of nuances involved with actually executing that, but from the customer side, that's how it sounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how you have it linked to the calendars as well, though, because you never know when people are going to be staying or leaving. So if that's synced, then you guys automatically have it on the books. Like, okay, they're gone, we can get them.
Yep. Exactly. And part of it is just from a business owner, it really keeps them tied into the service because it's so easy, right? The people they're transitioning from are typically individual cleaners who like would flake out or not show up to a cleaning. And it's tough managing a blue collar labor force. So when they move to us and there's automated scheduling, like no individual cleaner is going to be offering that. So it's just such a difference, and they're willing to pay premium for that. So luckily, I finally raised prices from that first year.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
When you first started out, were you doing residential and then kind of moved over into the Airbnb?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was just residential was kind of what I read on this Reddit post of what the guy was doing, which I was like, I'm going to copy that guy. So it was residential. And it's funny, we grew a lot in vacation rental. It was probably like 70% of the business. And because of COVID and travel ban, it kind of flipped back to residential. So thank God we had that piece of the business still. So now residential is a larger chunk of what we're doing. And, just depending on the season is how it goes up and down. But that's what we tell our franchisees is we recommend both. Don't just do one because you want to hedge your bets and ensure there's no COVID-2 travel ban and all of a sudden you don't know what to do. So
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Awesome. Well,
I know I had a question for you, and I was like going to say it, and then I was like completely blank for a second. But it has to do with your location. So you guys are in Los Angeles right now, right? But you're expanding. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So it's we're in Los Angeles and San Francisco. We have two franchise locations currently. One's in Denver, one's in Myrtle Beach. So the concept is it's a remote concept, right? The cleaners go straight from their homes to the job site. So technically you could be anywhere as you do it. We always like to have people kind of in the local market, the neighborhood's a target, you can meet property managers if you need things like that. But as we expand, we're just going to go to a lot of different places around the nation, which are kind of vacation rental hotbeds, but also have residential homes. But honestly, it really is like, I could think in my mind, okay, here's some good vacation rental spots. But many times when people reach out, they're like, they tell me about the city. I'm like, I had no idea this was such a great city. Right. So I think the people who want to open a franchise, they know if their market's going to be good or not. And they know the type of model they're looking for. So it's been fun. Franchising is such a different beast. Like it is very, very different.
Yeah.
Have you guys considered an expansion model via franchising versus what you're doing right now?
We've thought about it. We just didn't go that method yet or anything. But we've definitely thought about it. When did you decide that you wanted to go the franchise model?
Probably in like 2019 is when the whole process started. And there's a long setup process, right? The lawyers involved, consultants involved. So it took maybe like a year to get set up. So maybe end of 2020 is when we officially launched, which is like, middle pandemic, you launched in the vacation rental cleaning business. But like, hey, we got our first franchisee at the end of 2020 and one more this year. So slowly building it up. But yeah, it's relatively new, at least on the franchise side.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're, like you said, how are you marketing that, I guess? Are you trying to like just go all out and try to find as many people as you can, or like you trying to just kind of go to certain areas? What's your kind of goal?
Yeah, it's so hard starting a new business because you don't exactly know the methods of marketing, right? That's what I teach though with franchisees, right? If you're going to a local market, you try 5 quoting engines and you pick the 2 which work, right? You try 10 marketing methods and you pick the 2 which work, then you put your money out there. So right now is very much like a shotgun approach of let me try everything, measure the ROI and see how things go from there. So I think the best bet actually, at first I thought, hey, I'll target specific cities that I think are going to be good. But I think I've come to a realization that the people who are in their markets are going to know way better than I can. And I think the personality fits more important than the location.
Yep.
So really just doing a bunch of different tactics of trying to find people who might resonate with the story, who might resonate with opening up a vacation rental cleaning company, right? And then they'll contact us and we can see if they're a good fit. So yeah, man, it's been like a lot of figuring out with a brand new business. It's no longer selling cleaning, you're selling an entire business, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, sell us in your business. Sell center franchise. How's it?
What yeah, sell me this pen, Brad.
Yeah,
tell you about this.
I like it. Yeah. Awesome. Well,
if you could start over with everything that you've gone through over the last couple years, what is one thing that you would do differently? For anybody new starting out, what advice could you give that person?
I would probably be more aggressive. I think naturally I'm just a little bit more risk averse, meaning like, I won't spend big money. I won't do things fast. I'll kind of measure twice, cut once, which in many ways is good. But sometimes, especially like if you're younger and you can take those risks, I think you should, right?
Yeah.
And I started the business when I was 24. I had no reason not to just dump all my money there. I mean, I was living in an apartment with 4 other guys. Like we just had like beer money. That's all we needed. So I should have been putting like way more money into the business, just trying a bunch of stuff, growing, scaling. So I'd say, hey, if you're just getting started in your entrepreneurial journey, regardless of what age you are, I think it's better to do more aggressive stuff earlier on, right? Because worst case, you fail faster, then you can start something else. But time is so limited. So you should be more aggressive with what you're doing.
That's awesome. Did you help your parents with the video rentals?
When I was younger, you mean?
Yeah.
It was funny. My dad never let me work there until way later. It's funny. He was just like, you're too lazy, and I don't want you to work at my store. So he never let me work at the store. But I was always around there. He actually only closed it in 2017. Get that?
Wow.
End of 2017. So the last 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny when I was asking him for the store, like if he was sad he was closing, and he was like, no, I beat Blockbuster. Shut it. Done. That was like his parting words.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I beat Blockbuster. We're good. That's great. Did they just have one location?
They had a couple locations around kind of where I grew up, around this area. So
that's awesome. 32 years.
32 years, man. I remember, I'm sure you guys remember going to like the stores on Friday nights, balloons everywhere. It's like the new Matrix just comes out and you're just like, everyone is over there. So it's such really good memories. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, is there any, is there any business books you've read that you could recommend to any entrepreneurs?
Where do I start? I guess one of the most common ones I'm sure you guys have already heard is like The One Thing, which I think, Dear Keller, I believe that's a huge one. Here's one which is not exactly a business book, but I loved it. David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me.
Yep.
Have you guys heard of it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That guy's a beast. One. It's crazy. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I read that book and that was the first time I heard of him, and I was like, oh man. And I just started checking out all this stuff.
You just start running just out of nowhere, doing a bunch of push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very motivational. It was a great read. So definitely would recommend that.
That's awesome. What else do you got going on? Do you got any others? What's your side hustle? You got a side hustle?
Multiple side hustles. Now that I do a lot of funny enough, I do real estate on the side, right? Oh, nice. I kind of so that's I do love doing that, mostly out of state real estate. I know you guys are involved in that as well. But besides that, just kind of excited to travel again. Before this pandemic, I was out of the country for about 5 years, bouncing around, and I'm kind of excited to get going again. So really, it's just enjoying what I'm building, working on Made This franchise, investing in some real estate, and traveling. That's what I do.
That's awesome. How can people get a hold of you about your franchise?
Sure. If you go to Made This franchise, MAIDTHIS franchise.com, or even neelparekh.com, go there, shoot me a message, and I will answer everyone.
Perfect. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Are these working? All right. There we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.